Provenza. Welcome to Aspen, Colorado. This time of year, it's the hottest, jumpin'est place to be. It's quite a different pace from Sicily, Alaska, where I spend most of my time on northern exposure. But I was out there, I hit those slopes earlier today. That was me. Pretty smooth, huh? Sorry. Well, these are the CBS execs. This time they wanted to come along and see firsthand what you think of the new shows.
Paul, the first show is Cybill, and I want you to find out what they think, okay?
Okay.
Paul?
Yeah?
We're on the slopes, but if anyone calls, remember, we're in a meeting.
Got it.
Okay?
Right.
Thanks.
Okay. They're my bosses.
Problem is I'm a woman. If I was a man, they wouldn't say I was too old to play a hooker.
Don't be so sure, honey.
I wanted to do something I had never seen on television. I wanted to deal with a woman who's really in her prime.
But you are so predictable, Mother. Your mind just automatically goes to sex. What's that all you think about? Sex?
You want me to say no, don't you? It's a pretty crazy life. 2 ex-husbands and 2 daughters by 2 different husbands, and single and dating and trying to have a career.
Hiya, Pumpkin.
Jeff, please stop calling me Pumpkin.
I call all my ex-wives Pumpkin.
I speak for all of us.
I'm gonna have a baby.
Oh, Rachel! Oh, Rachel, that's great. That's so great. You even waited till after you were married.
I am the daughter of her first ex-husband. I'm her older daughter.
I thought I'd start a new family tradition.
Good one. You told her?
Mother, I swear, if you mess this up for me, I'll become a lesbian.
She's this really neurotic, in a way, teenager. She's very antisocial on one level. And yet I think she's pretty intelligent.
Cybill, is this a bad time? Nah, she's a little rattled because she just found out she's gonna be a grandma. I want to deal with aging and aging naturally.
Have I ever lied about my age? Nope. Have I ever been lipo-sucked, boob job, tummy tucked? Nope. And you know why? You can't afford it.
Sounds to me like you may have some residual. No.
It's funny.
Oh, sleep with me anyway.
Okay.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me, I thought you might want to take a look at... Well, hey, how about you? Would you like to watch some...
Oh, I'd rather watch them.
Oh, yeah. Hey, excuse me. How'd you like to take a look at Double Rush, the new comedy from the creators of Murphy Brown? I'm sorry, is this in your way?
If something has to get there fast, it's a rush. If something has to get there very, very fast, it's a double rush.
You're 3 hours late, Leo.
A little understanding, all right? I'm a member of Generation X. I mean, if Drew Barrymore was your leader, would you be in a hurry to get on with your life?
Instead of me firing Leo, I fire Hunter now.
Thank you for helping me lose complete control.
Back. Double Rush Uptown.
Double Rush is about any day in the life of a bicycle messenger service.
Is he the fastest? His calves look small. Go, Brubeck, and guard that with your life. I worked a week on that proposal.
It's a bunch of loose cannons put together in one room.
Whoa, wait, what's going on out here? I'm trying to do math.
These are people with a lot of dreams, and some of them will never be realized, and they don't know that yet.
I could have been a rock star and dead now. Why does that sound good to me?
And then some of them will, and that's very exciting, and that's the show we're doing.
You heard the deal. Foley's best messenger versus ours. Winner takes all.
It's up to me, isn't it, Mr. Verona?
Hunter, you're the only man I know that can beat a fax machine.
Hunter's like involuntarily suicidal. He doesn't try to be. He's like a 90s Barbarino.
I play a young cat named Marlon who has a wife and a kid. He got married really young. Looking through that shirt, I can tell them biceps is tall.
Marlon, I'm not loaning you any more money.
Oh, man, it ain't for me. It's for my kid.
Let's jump around the corner of 57th and 7th. Huge crowd.
Barkley's the dispatcher.
You smell nice.
Do I?
No, go on. Thank you.
I hope we'll have the opportunity to do something together in the future. Maybe I could run you over with a bus. That would work for me, you downsizing Republican bastard!
She's about to crack because it never occurred to her that she would fail, that she would not become CEO of her own company someday.
Don't start. That's ancient history.
Ancient history is my bar mitzvah.
All right, come on, let's pack up.
We're very poor, so I was born at home. It wasn't until after my mother saw me she was taken to the hospital.
They're like the Pony Express for the 20th century.
That's where my love...
They don't have brakes on their bikes. If they had brakes, then it would take them longer to get wherever they're going because if something happens, they will stop. So without brakes, they find a way around.
I hope people surf and stop there because it's a good place to stop for a while.
Watch the show. Gotta watch the show.
Coming up, a look at Tom Snyder's Late Late Show.
And this one goes out to We took Comtrex.
Extra strength Tylenol for headaches, body aches, Robitussin maximum strength for your cough?
All I took was Comtrex. For a cold, why take all these when Comtrex does it all?
Maximum strength Comtrex does it all.
Now is the best time to buy at Sears with some of the year's best prices throughout the store. Through Saturday, use your Sears charge and get 0% finance charge, no billing, and no payments until March on all Brand Central purchases. Right now at Sears Brand Central, this Kenmore 20 cubic foot top mount refrigerator with free factory installed ice maker is just $699.99. Or this 25 cubic foot model on sale for only $1099.88. Our lowest price ever. Only at Sears.
Imagine a couple of Swedish engineers have dinner with a couple of German engineers. The Swedish engineers over herring talk about safety, while the German engineers over bratwurst talk about the joy of driving. And what do you think they'd end up with? Probably the new Volvo 960. Now the only question is who's going to pick up the tab? The new 960 from Volvo. A Consumer's Digest Best Buy.
Crime is rampant in America. A car is stolen every 20 seconds. Police need your help. I'm Deputy Flack, and please, wherever you park your car, lock the club on the steering wheel to prevent your car from being stolen. The club is a tempered steel lock that's tough to defeat. Its high visibility deters thieves and makes them move to an easier target. The club is the best auto theft deterrent I've seen, and I recommend you use it. Accept no cheap imitations. Always ask for the club by name. And let's put auto thieves in their place.
Tom Snyder's coming to CBS on the Late Late Show following David Letterman. Can you do his laugh?
Okay.
Was that Tom Snyder or Beavis? You like Tom Snyder?
Oh, he's incredible. He's informative, he's funny, he's down to earth. He's always got a joke in the back of his mind, and he just kind of lets it rip.
And she said, well, a martini might be a good start.
I think he's sexy. Maybe it's a news thing. Maybe it's because he's so knowledgeable and...
So intelligent men turn you on?
Yeah.
Come back to my place, we'll do room temperature fusion.
Okay.
Folks, I'm TS, and this is the Color Cast up and running now for Thursday night.
The thing that I'm proudest of is that I've always tried to do programs in which I don't shortchange the attention span of the viewer.
What are the first couple of weeks like for a former president after you have lost an election?
It's going to be an honest late-night television program that I hope will take late-night talk back to its origins of, crackling conversation in the night.
One of the most hotly debated amendments was that no one in Georgia henceforth could vote in a primary or general election who had been dead more than 3 years.
He's not predictable. You just don't know what's going to happen.
It's a wonderful song, but...
He's somebody who knows how to work a camera, who knows how to relate to a viewer watching alone at home at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's just by his mannerisms, his actions, his experience, his sense of timing, his ability to get people to come out of themselves.
I would be remiss if I didn't just ask you about some of the pictures that you and Humphrey Bogart made together.
I remember talking to her, and she didn't want to talk about Bogey. And I said, I know that you don't want to. I said, and I won't press you, but you almost have to because you two, we need you larger than life.
There wasn't a husband or a guy in America who didn't want his lady to say, you just put your lips together and blow. Here's the champ, George Foreman.
There's something universal about this man. His smiling face, his love for cheeseburgers.
Now, I have to ask a question long enough so that you don't have to talk.
Oh, never mind me. Just go on.
Okay. I do this all the time. Yeah, I understand.
He really tilts at the windmill of advancing age and steps into the squared circle to do battle.
I found this funny, which means that you probably won't think it's so.
To be asked by Worldwide Pants, David Letterman, CBS, to follow him in what is now unarguably the most successful late-night television show on the air. I mean, who could be luckier?
Regardless of the guest, regardless of the topic, regardless of the circumstances, what you could rely on night in and night out was that Tom was going to be entertaining.
This is the whole show right here, folks.
With the ability now to do it live out of Los Angeles with the 800 phone line and the people on the toll-free exchange and the simulcast on the radio, the more I thought about it, I kept saying, you know, why not? This could be an awful lot of fun to do.
Thanks for watching, kid.
Yep.
Bye-bye now.
In one lifetime, to have Carson and Letterman open for you, who could ask for anything more?
Hey, since you guys aren't busy, I thought you might want to take a look at the new CBS Wednesday night lineup, starting off with Women of the House, starring Delta Burke.
I love Delta Burke.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Sugarbaker, and I'm new in town. There's at least 30 congressmen calling for a full investigation and/or resignation, not to mention the Journal, the Times, and the Post.
And don't forget, Penthouse wants to know if she has any wedding night videos.
Somebody from the White House called and said the president wants you to go jogging with him. I can't go. I don't jog. Why not? I mean, there's enough stuff going on just when I walk. If I jog, I might take out a couple of Secret Service agents.
My philosophy then, as now, is a simple one. You want to see my underwear? Marry me.
When we have particularly heavy love scenes, we have some stunt doubles brought in.
Oh, yeah, we do it. And with mirrors,
We are
too.
fully padded.
Why should we wait? It's my birthday. We're married. You're a woman. I'm a man. You're wearing a bra? That's okay. I can take care of it.
We're either a romantic comedy or a comedic romance. I like to refer to us as a romantic comedy.
Very well said.
It's Friday. Here's your checks. Take them, cash them, and spend. Spend really fast so you don't realize how little you make. Well, everybody is like a loose cannon, but when you say action, for some reason, everyone knows just where to go.
And action.
When I was your age, Leo, I was demonstrating in the streets to try to make the world a better place.
Well, that was you.
I still can't believe we get paid for this. I love you.
Meg doesn't want to be intimate with Dave. She doesn't have to be intimate with him, and that's the end of it.
Who said anything about being intimate? All she has to do is lie there. I'm the best actor on the show, and I think if people tune in...
Well, you've improved a lot since I came.
See the work that I'm doing?
He takes a note from me like that.
Yeah, but as long as we're being honest here, you do have to admit that, you know, men really are carrying the big responsibility. I mean, we're the ones with all the pressure who do most of the work.
I know it's an awful lot of hard work to service our needs while not letting go of the remote control.
If somebody told me a month ago I'd be playing golf by moonlight in the Alaskan wilderness.
I did something really crazy last night, Ed. I did a triple gainer into the Grand Canyon of craziness.
I want my money back, and I want it now.
He didn't do it?
He might as well have been introduced to a brown rice cake.
No, look out!
It's not predictable, so I like that stuff. And plus, there's a moose. And wherever there's a moose, you can find me. I've had a thing for moose since early on in my career. I've always wanted to work with moose.
Keep your eye on CBS for Northern Exposure, Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. I like you guys.
This summer, we invited everyone who owns a Saturn to visit Spring Hill, a Saturn homecoming.
Got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life. I'm in love.
And good evening, everybody. I'm Tom. This is the Color Cast, up and running now for Tuesday night. It's the 18th of October, 1994. We have an all-star show tonight. We are pleased to welcome to our stage Mr. Burt Reynolds, who has been one of America's great stars for nearly 3 decades now. And the funny thing is that during my career, off and on, I have seen Burt Reynolds in a variety of venues. I've seen him at parties. I've seen him outside of 30 Rockefeller Plaza in New York. I've seen him walking the streets of Beverly Hills here in Southern California. I saw him riding by one time when I was in Jupiter, Florida doing radio, and I've never had the chance to sit down and talk with this man, and I really look forward to this tonight. And I hope that we can have a productive conversation about all the good things that have happened in Burt Reynolds' life and all the good things he has brought to theater in Jupiter, to people all across America, and to his own life, rather than some of the negative programs that have been done about Burt Reynolds on other talk venues recently, if you know what I mean. Geez, I don't know what happened on the Tonight Show last night, but I'm falling asleep. And all of a sudden, I hear Burt Reynolds saying something to a guy from cable TV. He was here. I forget his name off the top of my head. It's like 12:15 last night, and I'm watching the Leno show, because Dave was in repeat, and it was their salute to Kathy Lee. Which we'll do here before we wind up. And all of a sudden, like there are pies going through the air and stuff. I don't know what that was all about, and I don't want to get into it here. I want calm and peace and quiet on tonight's Colorcast. So quiet you can hear the ratings dropping out there. You know, I bumped into Dave Thomas coming out of the men's room.
No kidding.
He was in the 58 Pontiac. Dave is here tonight. Hey, Dave's got chili at Wendy's now. Did you know that? He's got baked potatoes and chili and cheese and hot sauce. And he brought a whole bunch for us. And this may be Belcherama tonight by the time we get through. So Burt Reynolds and Dave Thomas on tonight's Colorcast. Now today, stage manager Mark was out with the crew doing a report for Money Tonight, is that correct?
That's correct.
On Monday night, starring Janice Lieberman.
Correct.
And apparently this was something called the Wonder Bra Challenge. Have you heard about this thing, folks? This is called the Wonder Bra. Mark tells me it comes in a variety of decorator colors, a variety of sizes and shapes, to be sure. And basically what the Wonder Bra does, if I get the information correctly, and if I don't, correct me, please, it lifts and it shapes.
You are correct.
Is that correct? Okay. And from what Mark tells me, the before and after from women that sampled the Wonder Bra at our expense, CNBC's expense, the results were truly amazing and cheaper than surgery, to use your words.
Yes, sir.
And what about the women who, were they delighted with their appearance?
Absolutely.
So you'll see this on Money Tonight, on Monday night, with Janice Lieberman at whatever time that thing comes on.
That's right.
And do they have a Wonder Jock?
Not yet, sir, but it's in development.
Put a potato in your shorts, right? So anyway, Michael Horowitz and I are so excited because tonight when we finish the Colorcast, we're going to go to the airport and take the overnight plane to NYC. Tomorrow night's show will feature Susan Lucci and Diane Carroll from Fort Lee, New Jersey, and CNBC. We'll also be in Fort Lee on Thursday, and then on Friday, I get to go back to NBC and be on the air with Conan O'Brien. They're at 12:30 at night, right?
Yep.
And I'm going to go to the theater in New York, and I'm going to see some friends, and I'm going to have some colortinis, and I always love going back to the Big Apple, and I hope everybody's given my regards to Broadway, because tomorrow morning at 6:30 in the morning, I'll be at Times Square signing pictures. I don't think so. Anyway, in the morning paper today, there was a joke. They print this column of jokes, and I thought that this one was especially cute. And when I tell it, I know it'll die out here like a sack full of dead babies, but I'm going to tell it anyway because I thought that it was a very, very cute joke. A man walks into a cocktail lounge, and there at the bar is a beautiful young lady dressed in a very tight, very form-fitting, very alluring, very revealing pantsuit. And he walks over to the young lady. He says, "Excuse me." He said, "You look absolutely wonderful in that form-fitting pantsuit." He said, if I could just ask you a question. How does one even begin to get into a pantsuit like that? And she said, "Well, a martini might be a good start." Kind of cute, huh? Yeah. Fire up a colortini. Watch out for the gal in the pantsuit and watch the pictures as they fly through the air.
Oh, man.
Over. I just want to get my computer out of here.
I think that's CNBC property.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, let me get the Rolodex with all my...
I don't mind, but I think it is company.
Well, maybe the pen and pencil set, you know.
I think that's attached.
By God, it is. Geez, what do I get to take?
It's your suit, right?
Yeah.
Keep it.
Charles Grodin premieres January 9th on CNBC. First in talk.
You're watching CNBC, home of the Talk All-Stars.
We are back and joined by Burt Reynolds. You know, in this business, there are stars and there are superstars, and by any definition of the word, Burt Reynolds is a superstar. From his early work on the television series like Gunsmoke and Dan August to blockbuster hit films like Deliverance and Smokey and the Bandit series, not to mention the headlines he made with his romances with some of the most fabulous women in Hollywood, this man has captured audiences around the world for nearly 3 decades. Burt is now an author, and his newest work is called My Life, Burt Reynolds, and it's a pleasure to have him here during Burt Reynolds Week in America. I've seen you on so many shows.
I'm on Bowling for Dollars right after I leave here. You know, I think that is the big mistake that you make when you do these things, is that there has to be a lot of people out there who say, I'd like to buy the book, but I'm so sick of him now, after seeing him everywhere I turn on the television, that, you know, you can turn people off. But fortunately, I have a change of clothes for every show, and a different story.
You know what's interesting about you is you know that conning people doesn't work. You're very smart to realize that by this time people have seen you with Jay Leno and with whomsoever else you've been on with. I guess you were on the Mary Lou Henner show yesterday, which will still come on tape. And how much can you talk about before it becomes so repetitious that people say there's nothing more to hear?
You can't. But fortunately, you know, I have this incredible photographic memory of things I've never done. So I can talk about anything. You said something one night about me. Someone was, I think it was the fat guy and the skinny guy you had on, you know, the 2 reviewers, and in New York, and they ran a clip of a movie in which they were, as usual, destroyed. I think it was the end, and you said, but he's funny. Yeah. He's funny. And they said, this is beside the point. I didn't think it was in a comedy. I thought that was important.
That's the purpose, is to be funny.
You know, it was the only movie ever done about death that ever made money. It made about $40 million, and I was rather proud of it. But the fat guy and the skinny guy, who will go on, you know,
we all know who you're talking about.
We do?
It's Siskel and Ebert.
Is it really?
Yeah, yeah.
And I never got their names because I didn't care. See, I just go on.
Yeah, declare victory and move forward.
I move forward. The fact that they don't like me, they have no taste.
Let me ask you a question here about what people might perceive as hostility.
Hostility?
In Burt Reynolds.
No, there is no hostility. Okay. There's just a honesty, and sometimes maybe I'm working here. Once in a while, a little, what some people perceive as hostility is just me having somebody on and having fun. Because years ago, I used to lose my temper, and it cost me so much money that I don't hit anybody anymore. I'm losing my voice. I'm getting old. No, I hit a guy once who was a director who still go nameless, and I felt so bad about it. And I went to the trailer. I felt so bad about it. I said, I'm going to go back and apologize to that guy. And when I got back, they body chalked him.
Would you? I'm sorry for stepping on it, but would you like a glass of water? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Oh, all right.
No, you know the Heimlich movement. I'm fine.
Last night you were talking with Jay Leno.
Sort of.
And yeah, and you talked about the negatives a little bit, but what touched me was when you talked about the people in America, the country between Los Angeles and New York, the country that lives in reality in Jupiter and South Florida, from whence you come and where your family is and where you've done much to help people who want to do theater. And I want you to talk to me about those people and that America, because when we get away from the fat guy and the thin guy, we get away from the sharpshooters and the backstabbers and the jealous people in Hollywood, most of America loves Burt Reynolds. America likes you a great deal. And I would think you would take great pride in that and
I do.
Take great comfort in that.
Not more than pride. It has sustained me. But I had been away from that. I hadn't been on the road in years. Dinah Shore said something to me years and years ago that was so touching, and everything she said to me, I wish that I I could remember sometimes when I do say something bad, because there's a little voice up there that does tell me to say something else, and it's her voice. But she said, you know, you're always going to be Peck's bad boy. And every 5 years you're going to get spanked. By the public, too. But that thing looks inside you, and they like you. They really like you. And that'll never go away. And when I went out across the country, having been down in Jupiter for a long, long time, and having been in every rag sheet in the country for 2.5 years, accused of everything but smelling bicycle seats, you know, here I was it's true. It's true. That was the
You
only
are
thing.
graphic.
No, it's true. It's what they do. And I went across the country, and people said things like, I've been praying for you, and I love you, my whole family loves you, I grew up with you, or whatever, and you never went away. What is all this talk about going? You've always been way up here, you know. And they thought I was nice to spend 5.5 hours signing things. I said, you don't understand. You're putting me back together, and how touching this for me.
Okay, and so for all those good things, why do you let the chip shots from the fat guy and the thin guy, or all that? I don't. All that stuff, and I'm not even going to dignify what they print in those rags by even repeating it. But why even respond to it? Why even get upset about it?
I don't.
And incidentally, by the way, you're not the first high-profile guy in this town who's ever
getting me angry. I'm not.
Who's gone through.
He's raising his voice at me now.
No, but you're not the first guy in this town who's ever gone through a high-profile divorce. A lot of people have done that.
So a lot of people have. I think it was Desi and Lucy.
Sure.
Natalie and Bob.
Sure.
And life went on. Sun came up. Yeah. The problem is that when you're the top of the wedding cake, you disappoint people. I didn't realize how much. And they get angry with you because it was, you know, it was like Abbott and Costello, you know, or, you know, and you couldn't mention one name without the other. And when you break up with that person, which is a very private reason, and I'm not here to put her down. She's not here to defend herself, and that wouldn't be fair. But whatever the reasons are, you separate. My son put it best. I had read all these books about how to tell him I was getting a divorce. They have books for everything.
I know they do.
How to talk to Tom Snyder. And there's books everywhere. And
you know, it's funny, a guy called me here the other night, and he was going through a divorce, and there was somebody here who had some expertise on this. And he said, what do you say to a 10, 11-year-old kid, you know, when your marriage is splitting up? You know, and that happened to me, and it happened to you, and that's the tough part.
Charles Carroll.
Yeah.
Well, I said to my son a bunch of stuff that didn't sound very good. Anyway, he looked up, he was 5 then. He looked up at me and said, Dad, the dance is over. And I went, I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that, Quentin. How well put. You know, you go out together and you dance and you're together, and then you go away and one goes this way and one goes that. But I said the most important thing for you to remember always is that your dad loves you more than life. And he's never forgotten that. So we're going to be all right.
But he really said that? The dance is over?
The dance is over.
5-year-old?
He does things like that.
Wow.
You know what he did in the earthquake? It was extraordinary.
No.
He was with me when we had the earthquake, and he had a substitute nanny who was not real good. And the earthquake came, and I, you know, as we all do, jumped through hoops for your children and ran through glass, and I got him, and I got under this big archway, and the nanny came out, and she'd just gone ballistic and was screaming and yelling and hollering, and I'm going to die, we're going to die. And I very quietly said to her, listen, just button up, okay? Now get it together, because he takes it off of you. Keep your mouth shut, okay? Fine. Next came the aftershock. She went ballistic again, and Quentin said, hey, button it up, get it together, I take it off of you.
What a great kid.
What a kid.
Oh, what a great kid.
No, he's terrific.
What a chip, by the way, huh? Right off the block.
Yes.
We are with Burt Reynolds. The book is called My Life, the Autobiography. Back with Burt and your phone calls along the toll-free highway at 745-2622. We will continue after these announcements.
This is...
We're back with Burt Reynolds, whose book is called My Life. On the phone here is Della in Salt Lake City, Utah. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Della.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How's everything in Utah tonight?
Oh, just wonderful.
Well, that's good.
I just want to tell you, I like your show real well.
Well, thank you.
I can remember when you was in New York with the coal black hair.
Well, the coal black hair is gone, but the fire still burns in the furnace, Della.
That's right.
Yeah, here's Burt. He's right here. Say hi to Burt.
Hi.
Hi, Burt. I just wanted to tell you we sure enjoy Evening Shades. It's such a nice show, and wondering what your future plans are for making any more movies, or...
I'm planning on, well, I just did a movie called The Maddening, where I play a, first time I've ever played a killer. I just made believe everyone was lawyers. And it's one of my better performances, actually. Angie Dickinson and I. And it was directed by John Huston's son, who's a wonderful young man. And that'll be out in a couple of months. And I'm also debating about doing another television series or another sitcom or whatever. But, you know, that cast was so extraordinary that I got spoiled.
Would you ever do this, chat, talk?
Pardon?
No, I'm asking Burt, and then I'll ask you, Della, because if you want to, you can
actually,
too.
Della could do that in Utah. Are you a Mormon, Della?
Yes, I am.
Could I come to your basement when things get really rough here?
A very good LDS person.
Thank you. I love Mormons. Actually, I was asked to do a show, a couple talk shows, one which turned out to be Oprah. And again, another smart move on my part. I thought, I don't want to be in Chicago and talk to people. And isn't she the richest person in the world now?
Yes,
and
she is.
One of the most influential. But then I would have had to wear a dress and be black. And I thought, you know, I don't mind that. But I don't, no.
But not in Chicago.
Not in Chicago. She is absolutely an extraordinary woman. And the love that people have for her is because, again, that thing kind of looks right through you.
It does. And what else she does.
And they fell in love with her. They were right.
She feels on camera. She's not ashamed to show how she feels. Most people hide it, but she does.
Grabs people and hugs people that are hurting and all that. I couldn't have done what she did nearly as well. But to answer your question, yes, I have been asked to do it. And if I wanted to do something like that, I suppose I could have a shot at it. The key, as you know better than anybody, is, and it's also the key to a good young actor, is the hardest thing to teach them is how to listen. Most of them don't listen, or most interviewers are waiting or racing you to the joke, like Robin Williams. And they're not talking to you, they're not listening to you. And your job is not only to get the best out of me, I hope, but also it is to find something out that maybe somebody didn't get.
Mm-hmm. Della, I'm glad you called. Thank you.
God bless you, Della.
Thank you. It's nice talking to you. And we really enjoy your show.
Thank you very much, Della. All right.
both of you.
Bye-bye now. You mentioned a name before the break, and I'd like to ask you about her in reverence, because I loved her so dearly, and I interviewed her several times, and that's Dinah, who was probably one of the classiest, if not the classiest women people who came through this town. And I know that you and she were dear friends, I believe, to the end of her life.
Yeah, it was the toughest part of the book for me. And I did the book on tape recently. We got to that section, and I was just sailing through it, and I fell apart. And I said, I'll be all right. And I went outside and came back and fell apart again. You know, the most extraordinary thing about her was I never, ever heard her say an unkind word about anybody, ever. And her sensitivity to what was right, what was wrong, and what a laugh she had. And you know, this is Dinah. I had, when we started to go together, I decided we'd live together, and she didn't like my kitchen. So I ended up at her house, and she had a trophy case with 22 Emmys in it, or something like that. And I had my Rotary Club football trophy. And you know that the next day when I came home, they were all gone, and my Rotary Club football trophy was there, surrounded by things that complimented it. Candles, I think. Yeah. And that was Dinah. And every night, we would, if we didn't go somewhere, she would sing and made me feel, which is absolutely, totally impossible, that I could sing too. You know, and I would sing with her, and then we would go on Fridays or Saturday nights to Jack Benny's house and David Niven would be there, and Peter Ustinov, and Groucho Marx, and they'd all tell stories, and I'd say, they're real good.
Yeah.
And then I'd say, it's my turn. I'd like to tell you about Reese Darville. He's a wonderful guy. And they actually let me do that.
Listen to you. You loved her, didn't you?
I loved her more than anyone in the world. And I should have married her.
Why didn't you marry her, Burt?
Because I was a damn fool. Because I listened to a lot of people that I shouldn't have. And you know, when you're young, you have this thing about, it's so, I'm ashamed to say this, but it's about passing on, it's so embarrassing, passing on, you know, your lineage, another Burt Reynolds, etc. What an ass I was. Who needs another one? And when you adopt a child, as I did or we did, it took 4 days, and he couldn't be more my son if you ripped him out of my ribs. I love him so much. We could have, I was just a fool. And we talked once a week from the time we separated, a week before she died. And I said, can I please come over to see you? And she said, I'm so fat, and I got to get in shape for this golf tournament. And she wasn't fat at all. And, well, I love her.
I got to stop for a second here for commercials. Back with Burt Reynolds and a couple of you on the toll-free line as time permits right after these messages. Stay with us, folks.
It's a wonderful story.
We're back, gang. Burt Reynolds is here tonight. The book is called My Life. It's in the bookstores everywhere. And here is Stu on the toll-free from Orlando, Florida. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Stu. How you doing?
The reason I'm calling, I figure since the Burt man is there, and actually it's Stu from Orlando, in the home of the Mouse House. Anyway, my question... Mouse House, you know.
Yeah, the Mouse House.
Right.
Hey, Stu,
anyway,
we got it.
All right.
We got it, Stu.
I'm on a 2-second delay. Anyway, the question for the Burt man over there, I'm going to ask him something that I think he's an expert on, and let's talk about Gator and Seminole football.
Well, I'm not an expert on it. I can tell you this, though.
Yeah, throw the Hurricanes in there, too.
No, I'd rather not. Actually, what people don't understand is, and especially Gators and Hurricanes, is that I cheer for them every game but one.
You got it.
And that game is when they play Florida State. And Bobby Bowden is an extraordinary man and has finally got to be #1. And he used to say to me, buddy, you don't know how to talk to the media. Now, I get along great with the media. What you got to do is just start a story and just don't finish it, boy. You just tell that story, you just get to talking, and then finally the time is up. And you got them, you know what I mean? Just love them and talk them, be funny, you know, just be a good old boy. I said, Bobby, it doesn't work that way. They got an agenda. I mean, they come, they know what they're going to write. I know you're great with the media, but, well, guess what? I got a phone call from Bobby after they got to be #1, and he said, they're killing me. I said, it comes with the territory, Bobby. When you got to be #1, see, they had problems down there, major problems. Boys were actually going and getting free tennis shoes. Dear God, $22 worth. And wow. So we had to come down on them. Sports Illustrated wrote some of the most unbelievable tough articles on Florida State and Bobby Bowden, who is, he's the best thing that ever happened to college football. This is a man that took athletes from 30% graduation to 70% graduation.
So let's knock him. Let's put him down. Let's rip him to shreds.
Well, he's #1.
I know.
That's what happens. You see, if Nebraska had kicked that field goal, they would have had problems in Nebraska last year in the mall.
There you go, Stu. Hope you enjoyed the ride.
The thing is, Tom, I've got a question for you. A lot of people call there and they want mugs and one thing and another from you. But what I'm going to do is offer you a choice. I'll either send you a mug or a keychain. What would you like?
I'll take the keychain, thank you.
You'll take the keychain?
Yes, sir.
I'll take the mug.
Send Burt the mug.
Wait a minute. Where do I send each of these things?
You send them
Tom will give you his home address.
You send them to me here at CNBC, and I'll make sure that Burt gets it over at the house.
Okay,
if
now
he's still there.
wants the mug, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the mug for Burt and the keychain for Tom.
All right, now you can tell Burt that the mug he's going to get.
No, you don't have to tell me to tell him, Stu. You can tell him yourself.
I can hear you.
Right.
Yeah.
It will say, "Go Gators." And in November, you know we got you, boy.
Yes, I know you do.
Okay, Stu.
And that's what you thought last week, didn't you? And Auburn got you. It was in Bowden, too, by the way.
Stu, glad you called. I want to ask you here when you went to Benny's house, because it's the one on Roxbury, right?
Yes, sir.
And I walk by there most mornings. What a wonderful house that is. And I often wondered what it was like when he and Mary Livingston were living there.
It was extraordinary. And he was the best audience.
Really? Yeah.
You know, most comedians are not great audiences, and I shouldn't generalize about that, but most of them I've met. I mean, Milton Berle, you tell him a joke and you think it's funny, and he goes, "That's funny." Jack Benny, you could tell Jack Benny a joke, and he would fall on the floor. Fall on the floor. And the first time that I met him, I was standing there talking to him, and Georgie Jessel came by. Now, for you folks out there that are too young, Georgie Jessel had a hairpiece that looked like a golf divot landed on his head. and it really, sometimes it was backwards, and sometimes it was forwards, and sometimes it was over here.
Yeah.
And he had a uniform.
For men and Jessel never met.
No, this was bad. It was, and he always had a uniform, which we don't know from what army it was from, with lots of medals, which we don't know how he got them.
Yeah, right. Remember, he looked like a general.
No, he had hundreds of medals. Yeah, and always a girl not over 17. Okay? So he would walk by, and Mr. Benny said, "Burt, do you think George still does it?" And I said, "Yes, I know for a fact that he does, because I know that young lady. He does do it, but it's dust." Which is true. It was a true story, actually.
The dust wasn't red, was it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, after I got him up off the floor, we went into dinner, and he said, "Burt, tell a story." You know.
I'll tell you, you ought to do this. You're a very entertaining man, and I appreciate your giving us some of your time tonight. I know you probably get sick to death of talking about this stuff, but
no,
thanks
we didn't talk about this stuff, and you are so kind to say that. And you had somebody on here, and I called in, as you know, Jim Neighbors.
That's correct.
Just one quick story about Jim Neighbors, who's the kindest, dearest man in the world. When some very smart idiot wrote a marriage proposal between, or a marriage announcement between Rock Hudson and Jim Neighbors, it ruined his career. He was dropped, and at that time he had the third highest show on CBS. He had never met Rock Hudson at the time, by the way. It ruined him. Now, Jim would go out and open his show in the audience and then come up on stage. Well, he was in Dallas, which is a tough place to play with that kind of thing going around. And Johnny Unitas went down there. I went down there, too. And Jim didn't open in the... He opened on the stage, and he came out and he said, "I'm sorry, you people. I'm sorry I disappointed y'all, but I do my best. And usually I end my show with this, but tonight I'm going to start with it." And he sang the Lord's Prayer. There was no response. And then Johnny Unitas, I walked out, and Johnny Unitas said, "This is one of my best friends. And he's a wonderful man, kind man. And I want to give him these high-top shoes that I wore when I played in supposedly the greatest game of all time." And them Texans said, "By gosh, if Johnny Unitas likes him, he's all right." And everything turned around.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell that story because Jim went on and has never done an interview since that time except you.
Is that right? He was terrific that night.
He's never talked to the press again except you.
Well, I was glad he was here, and I hope he'll come back. And I thank you for... You're a champ. Thanks for coming on tonight.
God bless you.
Okay, God bless you back. Burt Reynolds, folks. The book is called My Life. Back with Dave Thomas, the man who founded Wendy's and the incredible 58 Pontiac and the chili and all the stuff after these messages.
is CNBC. Music Express, voted #1 by the National Limousine Association, has offices in Los Angeles and the East Coast. Music Express can handle your corporate limousine needs anywhere in the U.S. and worldwide.
We are back and joined by a man whose face is known to all Americans. It's one of the kindest faces on television, and he makes people happy in a variety of ways. #1 by helping people in adoptions, and #2 by providing good food at his chain of restaurants called Wendy's across the land. Here is the one, the only, Dave Thomas. Thanks for coming on, Dave. I'm really happy you're here tonight.
Well, thanks, Tom. I'm glad to be here.
Dave is the author of Well Done, a brand new book out by Dave Thomas in which he tells a variety of stories, including stories about himself and about the food business. Now, let me ask you about the food you brought up here tonight, the baked potatoes and the chili.
It's fantastic.
I didn't say it wasn't. Is that a new item at Wendy's?
No, we've had it for years.
And how does it do?
Very, very well. At Wendy's, we have nutrition.
Right.
And, you know, I just lost about 35 pounds myself.
Really?
And baked potatoes and our chili, we take all the fat out of it. And, you know, we have salads and our hamburgers, we cook well done.
Right.
And
the reason I wondered about chili, you know, like you got your national chains of hamburger restaurants.
Right.
Yours is one of the leaders. You've got your hot dog restaurants. You've got your pizza chains. But there's never been a chili chain that's been successful featuring chili as the lead item. Not a hamburger, not a hot dog, not a pizza. And we figured, and you would probably know this because you're a food guy, is that chili is different in every region of the country. Chili in Texas is different from chili in Ohio, is different from chili in California. Are we onto something here, or are we
Well, I think there is to a point that, you know, the difference is that we use hot sauce. And we let people put the hot sauce, and they use more hot sauce in Texas than they would in Indiana, for example.
True.
But the basic chili is the same.
All over the country?
All over the country.
Really? And you sell it coast to coast, the same chili?
Same chili. And we even sell it overseas. Even in Japan.
Yeah. Like, would you ever sell it frozen in grocery stores?
Yeah, we might. But I tried it one time with beans. And it didn't work out too well.
Not good, huh?
No. Had plenty of beans left.
And the other thing I've often wondered is, why wouldn't one of the major airlines make a deal with a Wendy's to have certain flights that feature your salads?
Well, they should.
Yeah, and your baked potatoes and your chili and your hamburgers.
That's a great suggestion. I mean, they should do that.
I mean, you know, a lot of times it'd be nice just to get on a plane and have a baked potato or a bowl of chili rather than that stuff.
Or a salad.
Or a salad, right, a salad, nutrition, right, or a well-cooked hamburger.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of all the things that you've introduced in Wendy's restaurants, and I don't mean to be unfair here, but what didn't work?
Well, I'll tell you what didn't work. When I first started, now we'll be 25 years old, November 15th, and we have 4,350 restaurants, and we do about $4 billion in sales, and we employ about 130,000 people. I started out with a single, a double, and triple hamburger made to order, using fresh meat. Had chili, had a Frosty, and that's ice cream. It's really ice cream mix, vanilla and chocolate,
right,
and sugar cream pie. And what happened was, we didn't sell very much of it, but I eat a lot of sugar cream pie. Had to take it off the menu.
And why didn't it work? Did you ever find out why?
I don't know. I mean, I liked it. I liked it too well, in fact.
And why are Wendy's hamburgers square and the other ones are round?
Well, Tom, we don't want to cut corners. and it's really, what it is really operational.
Right.
And we cook and you know, we do everything to make hamburgers fresh. And that's how I started with that concept. But I want to tell you about my book also.
Okay.
Well Done. Well Done is a book about 70 different people and how successful they are and what they have done in their lives. You know, being adopted myself,
right.
My mother died when I was 5 years old. And I've been on my own since I've been 15 years old. And had a little rocky start. I was born out of wedlock and never seen my mother and father, my biological mother and father. I've always been curious, why are people successful? How do they stay successful?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in this book, I have all kind of people, from actors to preachers to entrepreneurs, and social workers and adoptees.
Is there a thread that runs through the lives of all the people that you profile, or most of them in Well Done, that would give us some clue as to why certain people are successful?
I'll tell you why. Basically, they're God-loving people. Secondly, they're honest, they have integrity, they do the right things, and they help people. They help people, they put their self second and people first. And, you know, for example, Lee Majors is a good friend of mine.
Sure.
And Lee was adopted and didn't know that he was adopted till he was 12 years old. As I didn't know I was adopted till I was 13 years old. And I got to give him a plug because he's got a big special on CBS November 1st. The Bionic Woman and the $6 Million Man, they marry. And I'm in a cameo. I'm in there for about 2 seconds.
What, do you come in and say, where's the beef? Or?
No. He's got me in a basement. I'm captured, and he was going to get me out, but his bionic arm didn't work. Then I had to leave, so I don't know. Now, but I do have a little speaking part because last night when I come here, Lee asked me to do a little looping, and so I had to say, Steve, I'm going to be okay. So,
and that's your line, right?
That's my line. That's the whole line.
Okay. Hey, you did it well here tonight.
I didn't have to do too many takes.
Yeah. Back here in just a couple of seconds, I have a commercial waiting, back with Dave Thomas and your phone calls along the toll-free line. The book is called Well Done, The Stories of Successful People. We'll be right back, folks.
And $19.95 plus $3.50 shipping and handling with the name, air date, and subject of the program to Burrell's, P.O. Box 7, Livingston, New Jersey, 07039. For credit card orders, please call 1-800-777-8398.
We're back with Dave Thomas, who is the author of Well Done. How tough was it for you to become the spokesman for your restaurants? You know, a lot of people don't like to hawk their own wares.
Well, I'm cheap.
No, you're not. You paid Clara Peller a lot of money for Where's the Beef. By the way, what a campaign that was.
Oh, she was a fantastic lady, but passed away.
Yeah.
You know, Tom, I've done about 300 commercials.
Really?
And I don't think I ever got one right yet. Because my director keeps saying, you know, cut, one more time. And just be yourself. And his name's Billy Hudson, and he's a fantastic person. But I just go there, and somebody says, well, you must be getting better. I don't think I getting any worse, but I'm not sure I'm getting any better.
But, like, do people come up to you on the street and say, hey, Dave, how are you?
Oh, they'll ask me all kind of questions. Is it really you?
Yeah.
I say, yeah, I think so. I'm not sure, but they all ask all kind of questions, you know. How's your daughter, Wendy? Is it really you in them commercials? Yeah, it's really me.
And tell me about your work here with I know you're very big on adoption.
Well, what I'm really asking people to do, and it started back about 4 years ago with President Bush at the White House, is and he asked me to go out and ask corporate America to put adoption benefits in. You know, like, for example, you have maternity benefits, you should add adoption benefits. And
why not? Yeah.
And it's real simple. And
kid's a kid, right? Yeah.
Governor Campbell of South Carolina, I spoke to the governor's conference in January, and South Carolina put adoption benefits in. Columbus, Ohio, the city put adoption benefits in. And Ohio, George Vonovich put Governor Vonovich put adoption benefits in. So I think what I'm really trying to do is get everyone that has maternity benefits put adoption benefits in. And all the proceeds of my book is going to go to adoption for the foundation.
You know, you're a heck of a guy, Dave. I want to tell you something. That's very, very good.
Well, I think it's the right thing to do.
Well, it is the right thing. You know,
I was adopted, and, you know, I think everyone deserves a home and love, so.
Did you ever find your real mom and dad?
I found my grandmother and grandfather, but my mother and dad both were passed away. And, you know, I got cheated, but one thing that I started out a little rocky, but I was lucky for one thing. I was born in America, in a land of opportunity, and I've really been so lucky. You know, I thank God every day that I'm American.
Yeah, but I'll bet the harder you work, the luckier you got.
Well, I did that.
Yeah.
You know, I just believe if you didn't, in a little philosophy.
Yeah.
If you didn't work, you didn't eat. And I think that should apply today for those that don't want to work. And, you know, I just like to eat too well. Still do.
I know. Here is Sarah joining us on the toll-free from Abilene, Texas. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
Good evening, Sarah. I'm doing well, and thanks for calling our show tonight.
Thanks. Is Dave there, please?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Dave. How you doing?
Great.
I was wondering, you've been doing these Wendy's commercials now for a long time, and I was wondering, obviously Wendy is still alive, and I was wondering how old she is and what is she doing now?
Well, I've been doing commercials for going on 5 years, about 300, and Wendy is, I have 4 daughters and a son, and Wendy lives in Dallas, and she's a franchisee. She's 33 years old, and I hope I'm right, because if I'm not, she's going to shoot me. She has 3 children, and 2 girls and a boy, and a set of twins. I mean, it's just 3 altogether.
Yeah, right.
I kind of got that.
Yeah,
Wendy, forgive me.
Yeah, and like Wendy is the one after whom the restaurants are named, right?
Right.
So how do the other kids feel that the restaurants ain't named after them?
Well, what happened was, her name's Melinda, but she hates for me to say that.
Yeah.
But
after all, she is a franchisee, so.
Right. Yes, that's right. And her sister, Pam, and her brother, Kenny, and her sister, Molly, couldn't say Melinda, and they called her Wenda. And so I went home one night, and I had the menu all set. I wanted to make a fresh hamburger, made to order. That's the way we do it now. And chili, frosty.
The frosty, the baked potato, the salad. Right.
Well, we didn't have the baked potato then because nutrition come in, but it give a lot of choices. And I said, I'm going to call it Wendy's Old-Fashioned Hamburgers. And that was it, huh?
That's the whole deal. I mean, it wasn't pick the other names out of a hat, Pam and the others. No. It was Wendy's.
No marketing people, no hocus-pocus groups, consultants.
Research, none of that. No. Fresh hamburgers, going to be called Wendy's. That's pretty much it.
Quality's our recipe.
Quality's a recipe. Got it. Anything else, Sarah?
Yes, Tom, I have a couple of questions for you.
Well, go right ahead, ma'am.
Okay, first of all, I think your show is great and everything, and I watch you every night.
Thank you.
And I will watch you tomorrow night for the info the questions that I'm fixing to ask you. And I was wondering if, I'm a big Kiefer Sutherland's fan, and I was wondering if he ever been on your show before.
No, he's never been here.
Will he be on your show?
We're trying to book him, but we haven't had any luck yet.
Okay. Well, I'll be watching tomorrow night if you can get some info on it.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Who's your biggest competitor, do you think?
Ourselves.
Really?
Yeah. What we try to do is have clean restaurants, be nice to everyone, get the order right, and food safety is really an important thing.
Oh, sure it is,
too.
Yeah.
And, and price has got to be right. So we take care of one customer at a time. And when we don't do that, we're our biggest competitor.
Well, I sure thank you for coming on tonight, Dave. I've seen you on all the commercials. I lust for your 58 Bonneville convertible. Do you really have that car?
No, we lease it.
Could I get it for just a weekend sometime?
I think we can work that out.
Okay. I sure appreciate your coming by.
Thank you.
The best to you and your family, and really, thanks for all the work that you have done to make people aware of the needs of kids who are adopted.
Well, everyone deserves a home.
And their moms and dads. Thanks a million, Dave. Dave Thomas, folks. The book is called Well Done. It looks like this right here. Back tomorrow night, same time, same station, out of Fort Lee, New Jersey, with Susan Lucci and Diane.
Tonight, Matthew Broderick, musical group Big Head Todd and the Monsters, and comedian Jeff Foxworthy. Plus, Paul Schaefer and the CBS Orchestra. And now, a 4-letter word for fun, D-A-V-E, David Letterman.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you. Oh, hey. How are you? Oh, okay. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I have good news for you folks. Congratulations. You have been named one of the 10 best audiences of '94. Congratulations. Yes, sirree. You know, just as I mentioned that you've been named one of the 10 best audiences, I look down here at our producer's position, Bob Morton, and he's doing this. Yeah, yeah, oh, yay. Pathetic. Oh, it's a pathetic display. You're making us all sick. Folks, welcome to the Ed Sullivan Theater. We come to you from the newly refurbished, beautiful Ed Sullivan Theater each and every night. It's a great place to see a show, and even a better place to store your New Year's Eve party ice. Kids from that wilderness camp wandered in and are enjoying themselves. They're
glad to have them.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can, I want to share with you now, and I don't usually do this. I don't like to do this sort of thing on television, but I'm going to make an exception tonight. I'm going to share with you now a New Year's resolution of mine. Now, this is not all of them. This is one New Year's resolution that I have for 1995. I'm going to do the best I can to spend more time with Judy and Liza, my two poodles. Come on, Bob. Wow, could he be a bigger ninny? I don't think so. You know, I found this interesting. The government of Iran is now making satellite dishes illegal. You know, people get those satellite dishes in the yard and they get television from all over the world. Well, here's why the government of Iran is making them illegal. They want to discourage people from watching American television. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you know, if they want to discourage folks from watching American television, well, hell, just talk to the folks here at CBS. That's all you need to know. That's it. I don't know if you know anything about this controversy. The incoming Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, a couple of weeks ago received an advance from a publishing company to write a book, $4 million. Ow. 2 books, $4 million. That, to me, that's unbelievable. Well, it turns out he's already written the first of those 2 books over the weekend. Yeah, it's called Famous Guys Named Newt. Oh. The governor of Texas, Ann Richards, is stepping down from her office, I believe, on Sunday. And she said in a recent interview that she's just going to kind of take it easy, although experts believe that her hair will remain politically active. Oh, I don't. Oh, of course not. Listen to this. There's trouble in Mexico. There's problems with the economy in Mexico. The peso is in big trouble. It's dropped off. It's fallen now about 40% in the last 2 weeks. And economists believe that this is serious. They say that the peso is actually dropping faster than Ted Kennedy's pants at a New Year's Eve party. That's what they said. That Greenspan or somebody said. Actually... Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about tonight's program. Tonight's show is so good, and if you don't mind, pardon my French, tonight's show is so damn good. I say that because I know we have kids home watching for the holidays. Yeah. And I like to kind of speak the street lingo of the kids. Hey, kids. There you go. The show tonight is so good, I'll tell you how good it is. We don't need to be calling a guy's mother in Arizona. That's just how damn good this show is. We don't need it. We don't